Hey there, this is J Kid from the Ministry for Otaku, 14-year convention veteran and autographer of the fan convention scene. If you have not done so already, please subscribe and ring the doorbell for notifications. A great majority of viewers to this channel are not subscribed, and by subscribing to this channel, you will help this channel grow and gain more viewers. We're almost to 1,000 subscribers, about 51 subscribers to go, and this channel will go from here once we get 1,000 subscribers. So here is our special news brief for Friday, September 17th, 2021. Because of 4 to 5 or 6 major stories I'm working on this week, which will roll out one at a time throughout this week and next week. The first story, Game Goat CEO gets kicked out of Gen Con 2021 over a frog picture. Gen Con 2021 starts this weekend with much security fear measures and health fear measures in a state that has ended all measures, Indiana. But the other real story is the CEO of Gaming Goat, Jeff Bergen, was summarily removed from the premises from Gen Con staff after setting up his booth. A post on their forum stated that he was removed due to their broad anti-harassment policy, without giving any real specifics. My investigation onto this matter reveals that he is the target of a cancel culture campaign over a frog drawn for the crowdfunded game called Tournament Fishing. A focal part of the tabletop gaming community claims the image represents white supremacist organizations, despite being proven that it was a hoax by 4chan's Politically Incorrect board, also known as 4chan's poll. The CEO was also revealed to be a populist conservative, as shown by a list of bad behavior by a board/website known to the tabletop community. Examples including not adhering to COVIDism, by realizing he only had mild symptoms when he was infected for a few days, and recovered and got back to work. He criticized the trend of placing pronouns on people's Twitter's bios. He showed black humor of the BLM protests and riots of 2020. He posted a statement against political extremism in the tabletop community and the cancel culture movement within the tabletop community, and calling out fraud in the Kickstarter scene. Even though the creators of that image, they plan to remove the image, there was already a movement to remove him from the community entirely. Basically, most companies and storefronts decide not to sell their products and their games, and coordinated with him being summarily removed from Gen Con, a convention he paid $40,000 in vendors fees for this year. It is unknown if Jeff will actually get his fees refunded. I'm not sure if it's torturous interference, but it should be still torturous interference. I'm not really a lawyer. I'm definitely not a lawyer. So it's definitely unknown if the CEO, Jeff, is planning to file a legal suit against Gen Con for this. Next story, in the anime convention scene, is Collosalcon East, part of the Collosalcon series of anime conventions, which is underway in the state of Pennsylvania in one of the Maui resorts. After being forced to cancel due to Pennsylvania's prolonged state of emergency for 12 months, it's finally underway. The convention is max optional, despite the convention organizers ask people to wear face coverings in the convention center area of the Maui resort, even though that if you don't wear your face coverings, they'll consider you automatically exempt. The convention will continue until Sunday, September 19th of 2021. Their next convention will be Collosalcon, Texas in November 2021, and it's expected that the convention will operate as normal. It's worth knowing that Collosalcon Prime in Ohio, even though they asked people to wear a mask in the convention center, has effectively removed all restrictions, particularly the mask mandate. If that's definite restriction that was removed when the convention actually started. I heard it was a huge party convention because most of the normies, for all intents and purposes, basically skipped out. And the people who've been currently virtue signaling a lot, have not attended as well. Another story, and that's regarding New York Comic Con for 2021, is reported that major comic book publishers, DC and Marvel, will not attend, citing Coronachan as an excuse. It's as reported by Comics XF. Some of their absences include Marvel, DC, Image Comics, IDW, Dark Horse, Boom Studios, Dynamite, Vault, Archive, Omnipress, and Valiant. Given the fact that the Coronachan vaccine is widely available, and there's a heavy push for the vaccine, especially among the fan community, the comic community, the anime convention community, the cosplay community, especially the cosplayers themselves, virtue signaling their vaccine status, you would think that they will quickly return to normal with the vaccines widely available. Instead, under the excuse of Coronachan, with their policies regarding travel, during the ongoing Great Hysteria, post-Great Lockdown, they're still not attending these conventions, or they're planning to focus on announcements on YouTube or Facebook on Twitter. The real reason behind the excuse is that the comic book industry is under a self-inflicted freefall due to hostility to customers, injection of current-day politics since 2016, and reliance on events and cover variants. This has led to people to seek manga and anime to get their need for escapism in a world of hysteria and dystopia. A growing amount of people have sought indie comics and qualified comics, which is led by the Comicsgate movement, a movement that was formed in response to the failure of DC and Marvel to provide for their customers by criticizing failings of DC and Marvel comics, and the fact that their customer service has gone to crap towards retailers and customers. It has since evolved to making their own comics and graphic novels that focus on entertainment and a variety of genres instead of the superhero movement. Comicsgate has been perceived and constantly labeled and slandered by the mainstream comic books industry and the comic books professionals as being Islamophobic, despite the presence of Asian, Black, and Hispanic American creators, as a way to attack creators that are not part of the mainstream comic books movement and does not adhere to the neo-authoritarian political landscape. Some of the people that will be attending New York Comic Con will be Image, Dark Horse, Viz, First Second, Webtoon, Titan, Aftershock, Kodansha, and Yen Press. Now, please say note that most of that the good portion of what I mentioned is manga publishers, because of the fact that people have been reading more manga than American comic books, to the point where manga has been dominating the top 20 adult graphic novel listings since March, April? Yeah, since March, April, May. In other related news, the upcoming Furry Con, Free For All, organized by the AU organization, has been under relentless opposition by a vocal contingent of Furry Trail immediately after its announcement in September 1st. This relentless opposition, including has resulted in the endgame of setting death threats and bomb threats and threats of violent disorder if the convention were to convene in its original venue, which was the Tulsa Marriott Southern Hills in Tulsa, Oklahoma, forcing the hotel management to ask the association to relocate their convention event. It is still planned that the convention will be held on May 27th to May 29th, 2022. It is unknown if the death threats are reported to law enforcement, as these threats are illegal if they cross state lines. Please see Chapter 18 of the U.S. Code, Chapter 41, Section 875, We're going to Interstate Communications, Subsection C, and the Interstate Stalking Act of 1996 to learn more. And another news related to figures and anime figurines. A rather unknown court case that was filed in the state of California has gotten some attention in the mainstream press, specifically the mainstream gaming press, while ignoring the initial filing that was done on July 14th, 2021. On that day, the initial filing that was done on September 14th, 2020. Let me double check. Might got that wrong. Yep, July 14th, 2021. Now, on July 14th, 2021, Good Smile Connect, which is actually a liability company, actually founded they have an office in Delaware for some reason. Delaware is full of companies that are based there due to their low tax rate, even though most of their goods is imported by third-party folks, including Amazon, through third-party stores. They filed suit against imaginary people, consisting of James Sun Suk Kun, Guy Brand, Gracia Diaz for breach of contract, breach of fiduciary duty, unfair competition, and other charges in civil law. The initial lawsuit described a brazen instance of corporate misconduct taken from the defense using this is from the initial filing from Good Smile Connect, and they describe the suit says, in their words, describes a brazen instance of corporate misconduct taken by the defendants, end quote, using their assets and goodwill for their personal benefit by creating their own assets, funds, property for their own company, which started with Stranger Things, the drive-into experience. The defendants made a counter suit, which is more like a retaliation suit against the company, claiming that the company engaged in discrimination, tax evasion, and distribution of potentially obscene, sexually explicit anime parts. The parts are not described that were sexually explicit, but they're most likely referring to chibi versions of anime characters known as Nerdroids and Figma. Let me give you a sample here. Now, this is from the Good Smile Company, Diva, the Diva Nendoroid figurine, number 847. Apparently, the defendants see this as a loli. They see this as sexually obscene, even though Diva is an adult. I mean, she actually joined the military in the fictional world Overwatch. The national Korean military. When it is a backstory for Overwatch. Diva was actually part of the military mecha, the mecha military group, when Kaiju actually invaded the part of Korea. She used her gaming skills to actually used her gaming skills to actually defeat the Kaiju, and at the same time she's still an active gamer. The defendants actually see this as sexually obscene. So it's a lot less than kind of suing for having perceived unlawful content. They're actually suing them in retaliation, using woke ideology to combat anime and manga culture. And it's historical fact. It It's historical fact that almost anyone that is opposed to anime and manga because of fan service or because of childlike features, even though they're currently adult, has skeletons in the closet. Now let me continue this. Again. As I said, in a countersuit, more of like a retaliation suit, against the company claims that the company engaged in discrimination, tax evasion, and distribution of potentially obscene, sexually explicit anime products. Those products are not described in the countersuit, but what they're talking about are nanoids, such as the one I've showed you. And they claimed that Good Smile Company is affiliated with 4chan, which they still claim to be white. White. You know what I'm saying. Yeah, they still think it's some sort of supremacist website because of politically incorrect. 4chan has other boards, anime, video games, lots of hobbies, yet they're still obsessed with pole. Why? Now, the countersuit is more retaliation and argument using woke ideology in order to cover up their crime and to attack Good Smile Company for not enabling their embezzlement scheme and theft scheme. As you all know, people who claim that anime is sexist or lowly has always had skeletons in the closet in the form of unlawful sexual contact with children. And another thing, going MAGFest, that has just announced that the MAGFest Merchant Hall is going to be invite only, using Coronachan as an excuse. This was reported from the convention history Twitter. You should actually follow them. The convention history Twitter, con history. They actually retweeted this from MAGFest, or I have a picture from it, saying that only convention goers, only people who actually attended MAGFest or went to the Merchant Hall, if they had booths at the Merchant Hall in 2019 and 2020, will be only allowed to apply to be part of the Merchants Hall in 2022. And the con history Twitter handler, which I actually met with him during BronyCon 2019, stated that this is a shame and this is heartbreaking for those who actually been to MAGFest so many years when it was at the hallway, when it was at the old Hilton Mark Hotel, and at the current MAGFest location that put MAGFest on the map for the last several years. And even if you applied to be at the Merchants Hall, that's not going to guarantee you a spot. And what I'm seeing, that MAGFest is more corporate than an actual festival. And it's bad enough they actually had Coronachan fear, hygiene fear, that makes the convention no fun to attend. I'm not planning to attend MAGFest 2022 because of these. And the only way I will actually attend if they dropped all restrictions. Because I'm not going to spend my money wearing a mask 14 hours a day. I have a developmental disability, and I can't handle wearing a mask 14 hours a day. So that's it. That's all I'm going to say. And that's the news brief for today. I'm going to start working on each of these stories I've mentioned in long form. So they might going to be definitely going to be videos. I'm going to be posting more videos of the conventions of the past for the DC area before the Great Lockdown, before the Great Hysteria. So you're going to be seeing those along with videos coming from me, some commentary videos, and you're going to be definitely seeing at least one long form video news reports per day. At least 4 of them. Every 1 or 2 days. So that's it. That's the special news brief for today. If you got any news tips, comments, or suggestions, please email me at ministryofotaku@gmail.com. If you got any comments on this video, if you like this video, if you want to comment on any of the stories, please feel free to comment below and give a like and subscribe. Share this video wide as possible. Thanks for watching. Have a safe weekend. Have a good afternoon. Have a good evening. And those of you who are attending Collosalcon, Collosalcon East in Pennsylvania, happy convention. I wish I was there. And if I had the money, I would fly over there. Thanks for watching.